Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about how to tune the Project Aurora 3.0 with the, so that's just the base, so that's how to tune it, the Project Aurora 3.0. And then you're also going to need, and then this extends to all like installation packs like Hermes. So if you just have the base Project Aurora, this is going to work, but if you have any modifications of the Aurora, it is also going to work. Um, so yeah, and also I'm going to go over the updates first, and then I'm going to get to how to tune it. All right, so the new updates include, so it, um, so it says backtesting robot. Now you have candle manipulation, which means you don't have to be on the Helsinki She lines or the anymore. You don't have to be on them anymore. Um, Yeah, you only have to be on candles, which seems normaler, and also you get way better signals that way. I have been feeling. So yeah, so as you can see, it's not great right here because I've just been messing around with the settings and I've been taking a lot of notes. Um, but yeah, hold on, I'm gonna go over the main features. All right, so this is Project Aurora Robot 1.0. So this is the I mean 3.0. This is the Hermes installation, so yours should look something like this. All the basic tuning stuff, so from here, no, from here up should be the same. It's just a simplified version, so the robot can run it more smoothly. Um, yeah, and then if I actually turn on the real Project Aurora 3.0, I'll be able to do that. Let me just turn on the 3.0 that I made. Project Aurora 3.0. Alright, so if we turn on Project Aurora 3.0, if it loads, we're gonna... So it actually is really getting a lot like high tech. Alright, so first thing we have got new colors for the candles and the signals. So as you can see, the short signals are a little brighter. Project Aurora 3.0 does not come with, well, actually, yeah, it does come with candle manipulation. I kind of forgot. I haven't used this in a little bit. So I also added a little bit of ATR stuff, and it'll automatically do probability with that. So yeah, and then as you can see, the differences from the robot are you get this ATR points, and boom. So you have your ATR points, your support resistance, your tools. So the base version of this is basically saying, well, this for trading. It's for traders like that are basically making estimated decisions on everything. Um, so it comes with a dashboard. I'm sorry, I'm like way zoomed out here. Here, can I just climb up here really fast? All right, so as you can see, we got some new colors. We have a new dashboard, and that shows some very nice information. So we have probable stop loss short. So right now, it's thinking that we're going to take a stop loss. And that if you're taking a short position, the stop loss is $187 if you are getting in right now. So all these are relative to time. So if there was a buy signal, it's going to say probable stop loss long at that time would be somewhere around, right there. But then there's also like uh, probable take profit long, and it's 185. So that's when the robot would think that the probability is high enough where it would not do much. So, and then also we have better support resistance lines. And yeah, you have better support resistance lines. They're just different colors, and they also have different like probability stuff, which is better. I know this is just sounding like a bunch of crap. Candle forecasting I turned off because it seemed to be pretty useless. I actually need to erase that so you won't have that on yours. And yeah, and then you also have a new thing. It's called probability settings, and it basically manages what the robot thinks of probability. You have the panel position, so if you want to move it over. Okay, so yeah. So as you can see right here, we have our different probability risk things, and those can be controlled through here basically. And if you want to look at your bands for the buys, bands for the sells, bands for the shorts, you can do that all from here. If you want to look at news data, you just click that button and boom, news data. So green is good, you know how everything is. Now we have a new thing. It's called financials. So what you're going to be doing is putting in critical information, like so how much margin do you want to take? I don't want to take any margin, so I'm going to do the lowest, which is 0.001, and that's just to not affect anything. So this is mainly for volume and just tracking in general, but probability multiplier. So these are the real things that change the probability of things. So let's just say like the stock has a dividend. Well, then you'd put in the dividend right here in dollars. Um, sorry, I mean no, I mean dollars. So let's just say it has a dividend of $1, which means you would put in a dividend of $1 to take account of. So it can take into account for that. And then it has PE. What's the PE ratio for the entire year and past year's averages? So let's just say that the ratio is 6 or whatever, and it's going to take that into account. What's your max risk that you want to take? Is 10%, 9%? You can go up to 100% if you want. Now, this is just saying the amount of not the max. It's like the max risk that you're willing to take. So let's just say the risk. So there's There's about 3 to 4 information bands the robot takes into account for. There's risk, there's probability, then there's signal, and then there's percent that it's going to go that way. So percent that's going to go that way that you want to is like, let's just say it's 70%. That means the robot is 70%, has a 70% probability of it going. Then there's a signal, which then will say buy. If it says sell, it thinks that there's a 70% chance of it going down. But let's just say it says buy. So then there's a 70% chance of it going up. Then there is a accuracy on the signals that it gives out. So let's just say that it reads all the signals, and let's just say its accuracy is about 55%, which means there's a 55% chance of something happening. Then there's a 60% chance, and then I like to average those out, and let's just say that there's about a 60% chance of this happening with a signal that is basically saying a buy. Now you have risk. So this measures volume and probability, and if it thinks that the risk is too high to take, based on your based on your max risk you put in right here, it won't take the risk, and it won't show the signal. It won't show a signal. So yeah, that's its max risk. And then you have your trade capital. So let's just say my trade capital. So we can adjust for volume. Let's just say it's 100,000. Let's just say it's 100,000. Boom. So now we have $100,000 of trade capital, and let's just say it charges a fee. Like let's just say Robinhood charges a fee of 0.1. You'll take that all into account, and then you save it, and now you have real financials. Shoot. I'm sorry. So it'll take it into account. Now you have other places. So like amount of decimal places that you would like. If you want 1 decimal places on the probability, this is basically how accurate it is. If you want it to be super duper accurate, you can turn the decimal places as high as possible, and you'll get really accurate readings, but only up to a certain point. So I like to keep it at 2, because after 2 it really is really minuscule. Like you won't really see the difference that much. So yeah. Price higher or lower for look back. So this is basically adjusting the probability, adjusting another probability settings. I like to keep it just stock, and I like to keep it on these settings. So You don't really have to touch them. If you want to mess with them, you can, but that's really getting into it. Profit levels. Um, those don't really make much sense to me. I mean, they make sense to me, but if I'm doing something, they're not very essential, so I just take them off. Um, Confirmation line. Um, this will be deleted in the final version. I know for the people who really like the confirmation line, it works a lot, but um, now we have like 5 or 6 confirmation lines running as the candle manipulation, so you won't even notice the difference. It's going to be the same. But yeah, that's the Project Aurora 3.0, but now I'm going to go over how to tune everything. Okay, so first, we have our back testing. Now, what we're going to do first is, hold on, really sorry. Okay, so it's pretty much all about setting up the robot for success. So we need to first do the parameters. So these are the backtesting tools, and these basically do a lot of the parameters. So you have these are basically the outside parameter. Like if you can think of like the rules that the robot has to follow, it has to follow these rules. All right, so we have our backtesting strategy. So what we want to do first is tune it 100% for the year. So it's 2021 now. So backtest stop year, backtest start year is, let's just go 2020, and then we'll go, we'll start that at 2, make it exactly a year. Actually, no, we're going to put that up to 12 because we don't have some information yet. So, as you can see, we have our settings. So this is exactly for a year, since it's 1/7/2021. So we have our settings exactly for a year. Now, we can do, now what we're going to do is basically only do long positions. And what we're going to do is we are going to look at the strategy tester, and what we're going to do is only look at the, you're going to want to scroll down a little bit, and you're going to see buys and sells, and these are what you're going to be moving around. All right, so you first have your profit factor right here. This is mainly what you're going to be looking at. You want the highest profit factor possible, because profit factor is basically a ratio between risk and reward. I know that sounds kind of crazy because it sounds similar to risk and reward, so like your take profit places and your stop loss places, but it's a calculation between risk and reward. So per every percent of risk, how much money or percent you're making based on that. So what we want to do is we want to make that as high as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down here, and first we're going to start with the buys. And as you can see, it moves right here. It moves, and you want this to be as high as possible. And also, you want it to be, so the settings for the entire year need to be more than 50% profitable with a profit factor above 1.5. So you can already see we're above 1.5. We just need it to be more accurate. So we're still going to go for the highest profit factor, and then we'll tune it from there. So we have a 2 point, let's see how close we can get. So that's our highest one right there per amount of risk that we're taking. Boom. All right, so now we have 49.21% profitable, and we have not even edited the sell points yet. So now we're going to edit the sell points, and we're going to start moving them down first, because sell points, you probably want to get a better sell than most. So now, actually, that made it go down, but now we're at 49.25, 50% profitable. So as you can see, these are our current settings. So we just basically found our base settings for the buys and sells. Now we're going to do the same thing for the shorts. So as you can see, I just moved these two numbers up and down. We're not really getting into it. We're just looking for the highest profit factor, and it needs to be above 50% profitable. All right, so as you can see, this is the buy and hold ratio. You see this white line right here? If you were to just buy and hold, it would have been that much, all right? But now you can see here, actually, what's our buy and hold performance? Buy and hold. Where is it? Man, it was here. I swear, I can't friggin' see. Hmm. Give me a quick second to figure this one out. Give me a second. Oh, I found it, you guys. I'm really stupid. All right, so we have our buy and hold return right here. You can see it did 83%, 80 or 86%, and it made that much money. But we actually have to put in our parameters right now. So we have our properties. And what you don't want to do is recalculate every tick. Let's just say that our initial capital is 10,000. That's a very, very reasonable starting place. Then you have to put in your currency, percent of equity. You're just going to put that in. Pyramiding, commission. Let's go nothing, nothing, nothing. I just need these things up here, and if you want to add some things to your yeah, I just like to leave everything else off. It's just a lot simpler. All right. So as you can see, our buy and hold ratio was our buy and hold percent profitable was 85%. All right. Now, the robot made 197% this year, not even tuning not even including the shorts yet. All right. So not including the shorts, just buys and sells. All right. So first, now we're going to move on to our sells. No, now we're going to move on to our shorts. You're going to want to come down here and then go here, go to shorts. Now, you can already see we're 62% profitable this year with our shorts, and we have a profit factor of 2.8, which is already really, really good. But we're just going to give it that little extra boost. So the first thing that you want to do is come down here, and you can see your short and your trend. These are the two short indicators that we can be messing with. So let's just go for the highest percent profitable. So we have 62%. Okay, I'm just going to go for profit factor. All right, so we have 2.87. That seems to be pretty darn high. 2.87, and now let's go for the trend. I like to keep it on high because that means that it's going to be really, really responsive. All right, so sorry, it does that sometimes. All right, so its trend is 0.1 right now. It's not really taking that much risk. $1.82%. All right, so I'm going to go back to the highest profit factor possible. $2.935. All right, so then we have our highest percent profitable factor right there. All right, now we can now go all and look at our statistics. So we have an overall. Now I like to look at these because they give me a good estimation of how well it does. All right, so after an entire year, we should be seeing about a 55% profitability. We should be having over 1.5%. We should be having a profit factor over 1.5. But 1.5 is really garbage, so please try to aim for 2 at least. I mean, yes. I like to have our average trade above 2.2. And I like to have be over 50% profitable. And as you can see, the strategy didn't really start working until like a quarter way through the year. So that's also an issue. But if you program it in which you're supposed to do every month, which you're supposed to tune it every month like this, what I'm doing right now, you should be making it'll be a little bit more, and the percent profitable will be higher compared to that. All right, so our net profit over the year with just that amount of tuning is 422% and 0.92, which is $42,291.73. So yeah, that's basically it. All right. So now we can do. Now that's just the base. So if you were just trying to go long term, if you were basically going on the hour chart and above, that would pretty much be good for you. But if you're going day trading or even swing trading, you're going to want to follow the rest of these steps. All right, so first we have to go to our robot backtesting again. And what we're going to want to do is change these settings down here. And we're going to want it to do 2 months back. So I'm going to want to put this to 10 in 2020. All right, and as you can see, we're 51% profitable, but we didn't take a loss yet. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So back to start day one. Start month. All right, so 2 months ago, this started. All right, now what we're going to be looking at is we're going to zoom in here, and we're going to be looking for the perfect trend pattern. So what do perfect trend patterns look like? They look like up, down, up, down, up, down. Now we don't want to take any of the down loss, so we're going to buy. Then once it starts to go down, we're going to look for a sell, and then once it starts to go back up again, we're going to look for a buy. We are going to be able to skim a lot of profit off the top of that because we're not taking any of the loss, and that's essentially what this is doing, is profit skimming. So what we're going to do first is we're going to come up here and tune this to long positions, and we're going to make it as high percent profitable as possible. So we're going to scroll down here, and as you can see, we have our buy signals, and I'm going to basically move this until we get above 50% profitable and a profit factor above 2. So let's look for a profit factor above 2. All right, that's not profitable. Shoot, I just saw what time I'm on right now. I like 30-minute charts. I'm sorry. So what we're gonna do is now we have our base settings for the entire year, but we are basically going to tune them until they say the highest profit factor possible with the highest percent profitable as possible, and we're looking for at least a profitability of 50%, but I say 55% or even 60%. Now it seems kind of crazy at first, but yeah, this should take you about 10-15 minutes just to do the buys and sells, then about another 10 to 15 minutes to do the short and trend. And yeah, so I'm going to get back to you with that in a second. Oh yeah, and also if it's on a downtrend, you might want to want to start with the if it's on an uptrend, you're going to want to start with the buys, and then once you switch to the shorts, you're going to want to switch to the trend settings. But then if it's on a downtrend, you're going to want to do the sells and then the shorts first. All right, so yeah, just to tell you that. Also, I'm finished, so once you guys are done, you can unpause the video and do this. All right, so first, then after this, you're going to want to start testing some things. So you're going to want to come up here and you're going to want to manipulate the candles as best as possible. So let's start with the day. I like to start with this. Basically, now that you have your most profitable settings, you're going to go through all of these and look for the highest profitability possible. Most higher profitabilities are pretty much open. I already know it's already open, so I'm just going to go with open. But you're going to want to go through those and look for your best percent profitable and your highest profit factor. All right. Then, this is like a custom candle thing. So if you wanted to run, if you wanted the robot to process the day candles on the 30-minute chart, all you have to do is unselect that. And it's basically running on the day candles, so it's going to put all the buys and sells like if they were on the day chart. So it's kind of confusing, but once you get it, you'll get it. All right, so we have our buys right here, and what we're going to want to do is, so I like to run it on Helsinki She lines. Number 1 is candles, but it's kind of glitchy. It's really buggy, so I like to just use 2. And then if you want it to be less sensitive, so let's just say there's too many buys and they're going off constantly, you can tune this up And as you can see, the buys start to go away. So I like to go all the way up to 10 and see if that does anything, but clearly 2 is the winner. And then, but this is a big part. So this is how the mathematical calculations, how it smooths the line. So we can use SMA, we can use EMA. As you can see, boom, we got a percent profitable bump and a percent profit factor bump. Now, or we can use WMA, whole MA, and look, we just got to 60% profitable. We're 2.56%. Boom. All right, so now, so whole MA, let's see if we can go even higher. All right, so no, whole MA, so we're going to run 4, boom, right there. Then we're going to move down to the cells. All right, now, you're going to want to do the same thing first. Oh, geez, all right, so let's go all the way up to 10. Let's see if it makes any more money. All right, so we just got 60% profitable there. But we're not making as much as if it were on 2, all right? So profit factor is still high. All right, so now we're going to go to our cell input, so the mathematical calculation, how it's going to process the cells. All right, so 60, 54, so I'm just looking at the profit factor right now, seeing what is the best. So what was it on 1? It was at 60 and it had a 2.5. Okay, so clearly we have our profit factor is now it's at 2.6, which is higher than 2.5, and that means our cells are being more active and they're better, and also our percent profitable went higher too. So we can now move down to our short signals. Our short signals, and these are kind of simple. It's either 1, 2, so we're just looking for the highest percent profitable, which I pretty much know is below 10. And by the way, if it ever comes to like this, where you can see the percent profitable is 60% and the profit factor is lower, but the percent profitable goes up, you're going to want to go with the profit factor because that's the amount of risk that you're taking per unit of money, basically, you're making. So that's it. We're going to leave that at 2. And then you can mess with this. You can basically go open. Let's see how that does. I know it's already closed. Close is the best for this TQQ. So, yeah. And then if you want to edit this, you can, but I really don't like this. It really does not make that much. It makes sense to me, but I don't really like to use it. But it does work, yes. All right, so then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to back test it for the entire year. So we have really good profitability nowadays, but we don't have good profitability. We don't know if we have good profitability in the past year. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. And what we're going to want to do is, all right, so start of 2020 to the end of 2020. So we're just going to want to go backwards. So as you can see, I moved these settings to 2020, 2020. So the start to end of 2020. Let's go 2021 and let's go 1. And let's move this one up to 12. Well, actually, let's move that one up to 13. All right. Now we're going to move it down. Now we have 69% profitable, and we just want to look for a single month where this is red. If that is red anywhere, we did a bad job. Alright, so then we're going to want to do this. So clearly it did the first test. Now we got to go backwards. So we're going to set this to 2020. And now we're going to start backtest start month 12 and go backwards. We're just looking for the profitability to go below 0. If it doesn't, we did a good job. That one we lost money. We lost money on that one. We lost money on that one. All right, so clearly we need to filter these out. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this to the end of 2020, and we're going to move some stuff around. So this is the basics things. So actually, no, let's go back to where it had the issues. So let's start with 1. So that month it did it lost 5%. That month, on top of that month, it did 13. So now that we're just moving this up, so from 1 to 4 is the issue. Now, what we can do to resolve this is we can first start messing with the basic settings. Alright, so that made it profitable. But did it make it profitable the rest of the year? Let's see. So, backtest stop month. Yes, we are profitable, but we're under 50%, which means now we have to get into some deep diving. So now let's go like with this. Let's go up to 4. Does that do anything? All right, so clearly, as a whole, it likes WMA better. So we're going to leave that as WMA, and we're just going to look, we're going to try to get this percent profitable above 50% too. So we're going to start up here with the simple things. Okay, now we're going to move that up 1. Let's see. Okay, that's 49%. Okay, we have 49% there. All right, so I think we got it, and now we're not completely done yet. Now we're still back testing. So we're going to go 2021, back test start, sorry, stop date is, yeah, so that doesn't matter. All right, that boom. All right, so we're 50% profitable, and we have a profit factor above 1.2. That is all really, really good. Now let's see what's going on all time. All time, the way that you can do this is it has to be profitable all time. All right, so all time, 782%, and it's profitable. So boom, all we're done with that. All right, so now we are just going to go over the final check. So we're 1.5 per, we have a profit factor of 1.5. That's what we want, and above. Now, hold on. Now we got to go back to our start date. So let's go to 10. Oh shoot, we're 50% profitable. So I think that we're going to try to go back to our original roots, and you can make the decision on this if you want. Here, I took pictures of mine so I won't forget. So cell is 1.7, 2.7, 1.1. Alright, so now we can come up here, open to... Alright, so you guys can make the decision. I typically would like to, basically, if I see the entire year's profitable and, yeah, I would think that it would be fine for me to just do that because it's based on what the candles are actually doing now. So there's two more steps that we need to do. There's two more steps, and then you are completely done, and now you have a tuned robot, all right? So I like that to be on 2. Now, I took pictures of mine. You probably should have took pictures of yours. Candle manipulation 1.7, short 3. I'm sorry for that. The robots like to go off sometimes. Right? So we're going to move that to 3. Alright, by 1.9, 1.7, 2.7, 2.7, 1.1. Trend 114. Alright, so now we have my original settings. But we can probably do a little bit more with these. Now you may notice that it's not above 60% anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to fine tune it a little bit more again. So once again, we are going to go back and check all the sensitivities. Then we are going to go back and check check all the sensitivities. Make sure all the lines look good. We have 57. Right, so it looks like 5 is our buddy there, our short. Profit factor is higher there, so we're going to keep that at 2. Alright, so now, as you can probably see, now we have our full strategy pretty much set and done, and we have good buy points, good sell points. Now, we're just going to fine tune it. Now, these are the adders, so these are the multipliers, and then these are the adders up here. We're going to want to tune this so it says our maximum profit. So you can move these numbers like a little bit, and it doesn't really do much until it does. So as you see, we went from a 2 point, we basically moved that one up just a little bit. I keep moving it up. So I'm going to use my keyboard now and let's see. Come on. Alright, so I can clearly move this up a lot without it changing. Now it's going to probably change. Alright, so now, yeah, so I can keep moving this up higher and higher until something changes. Wait, it's probably on, wait, yeah, alright. Oh wait, now it went, Wait, did it go down or up? No, it went up. Alright, so wait, no, it went down. So that's 1 point. Boom. Alright, so 290. Now we're going to move down to cells. We're going to look for the highest profit factor. So now we have a 3.2. Alright, now that's our cells. Now we have to get our shorts in line. So just do this until you get the highest percent profitable. So I'm going to move this up higher until it doesn't like it. Now it's probably going to be higher for you or lower, but you just have to kind of figure that out. Alright, so boom, we have our short profitability. Now we need our trend profitability. So we're just going to prop this up as high as possible. Alright, so that's clearly our highest. Alright, now we have our very last thing that we're going to do. We are going to basically test it for the year, and then we're going to test it all time. Now, if they're both profitable on those, we're good, we're set, and then you can do this next month. All right, so let's go with start date 2021, stop date 2021. So we are 210% profitable. We are, yeah, so boom, right there, done. All right, now we're going to test it all time. So we're going to go back to 2012, and we are profitable. So what that means is we have basically made a profitable robot that does everything all time. Now you can see, now you can see everything here. Sometimes it outperforms it, but it doesn't really start growing until about, I don't know, 2018 all time. All right, then it goes down, and then it goes back up a ton, and now it's at its highest that's ever done. So it's kind of like the same thing. You want this to be the highest as profitable, and it should look like this because you're tuning it for this time. So yeah, definitely that's pretty much. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, there you go. You're pretty much done. Now you have a very profitable robot that can do whatever the heck you want with it. And basically what you're going to do with these settings are you're going to take a photo of them and then copy and paste it into these settings, into this robot, and then you can make alerts on that. So I just wanted to tell you guys about it. So thank you for watching. See you later. Hopefully you know how to tune the robot now. So thanks for watching.